Hi guys, DK here with a little bit of an offshoot video when it comes to DKUI. I'm going to call this maybe the Developers Series, or maybe a background to the technology might be also a way to describe it. But the intention with DKUI from the really is always for it to be a system that can be built upon or extendable, and to that end, it's the I don't think the technology or the of how it operates should be particularly secret. In fact, I doubt that it could even be considered secret because of the way everything's built up as HTML pages. It's reverse engineering how it works is not was never going to be a particular issue to anyone with any amount of web design or web experience. So to get started on this, I'm going to bring up a DKUI page server, and the only thing we need to sort of get that started is a Boolean toggle, and I'm just going to plug that into show. And here we have it, and we've got our window up here. Now, I'm not going to use any controls or any of these bits and pieces here. I'm just going to hard code what is probably the simplest control in that's possible in DKUI. So I'm just going to bring up a panel and start just to prove that this is what we're dealing with is a web page. I've got a little bit of code I'm going to drop into here, and that is a standard HTML href. So this is a link. So if we just plug this straight into our page, this will get updated. And we've just got there is just a hyperlink that we can click on, and we'll prove I'm not lying. There we go. We are straight to the Google page, and we can, I don't know, we could do a search for DKUI, and yeah. There's links to the videos, and the DKUI Food for Rhino page. So I'm going to delete this off, and we can toggle this back. And now we're back to a blank page. Now the reason I showed that is because everything in DKUI is just built upon text and built upon HTML and built upon web technology. But we can do some really, really simple things. Now, I'm just going to type into here. We've got, if we do, we can do we can do an href, so we can do a hyperlink, and the way we have communication between this DKUI panel and our Grasshopper canvas is it's all done with panels. So if I put a panel up here, you can consider this panel to be the holder of state, or the holder of information that gets passed between, or the receiver of the information that gets passed from DKUI back down to Grasshopper. And you can sort of consider it to be a key value pair. The key we could go is the name of the panel. So we can call this let's call this we call this manual test. Then this panel and what identifies that as being part of DKUI, or a place for DKUI information to be put, is to have the this prefix of DK. So we've got DK manual test. So now we have a place for our information that's going to get passed from DKUI through our server into Grasshopper. We now have a named place for it to land. And if we come back into here, the way we construct the sending of a message to this panel is we need we start off with DKUI, which is our it's the transportation mechanism is called DKUI. We have a semicolon, and then we need to put in the name of the panel. So in this case, it's DK. I'm actually just going to make my life a little bit easier so I don't have to do any string formatting. I'm going to put an underscore here because I, for the life of me, can't remember how to remember off the top of my head how to string encode spaces. So we start off the DK. But we've got DKUI, which is our address for this particular server, our DKUI server, and then the key for this particular this panel is its name, the manual test, and then we can go equals, and I want to set the contents of this to true. Just put the words true into that panel, and now we can close that off. And if we put our closing bracket, and I'll go click here for true is what that link's going to look like, and then we can close that off. So if I click off here, we now have a hyperlink on our DKUI, exactly the same as we had the hyperlink to Google. But now if I click this, we'll actually send the word true to our to this panel. Now, if we wanted to send something else there, like we could send false, and now we have false. But what would probably be better to do is we can copy this, paste it down. I'm going to turn this back into true, and I'm going to type false here. Now if I click off, we now have two links. Now to make this a little bit easier to read, I'm going to a little bit of HTML in here. I'm going to throw a couple of breaks in between. So now that's sitting on two lines. But if I click on the true, this will change to true, and if I click on the false, it'll change to false. So that is that is the essence of all of the DKUI communication. Is that it effectively comes down to the creation, or this standardization of communication, of creating basically HTML links to this domain of DKUI, and then building up then sending key value pairs with all the keys having this prefix of DK or DK underscore, and then as the key, and then then the value following in the equal sign. and that we can just keep building up, and we can link these together. They're just standard form data. And if you have any experience in creating HTML, and in particular JavaScript, JavaScript that changes the window location of a particular web page, this will make perfect sense to you. And you can just build up, if you use the standard DKUI server and you use this standardized form, you can create this two-way comms. Now, I'm gonna just to show that we have a this can actually do something in this can actually do something in Rhino. I'm going to create a sphere, and I'm going to create two diameters. I'm going to create 40, and I'm going to create 100, and then I'm going to create a stream filter. And if we're false, we're going to be 40, and we're true, we're going to be 100. And I'm going to pop that into the radius, and we can scroll out a little bit. And I'm just going to connect this up to here. So we now have this test panel connected up to this filter. And if I click on true, it goes to 100 millimeters. I click on false, it goes to 40. And there we have it. That is an absolutely manual, just written in pure HTML control being sent from this DKUI window via the DK page server through to this panel, and controlling geometry inside of Grasshopper. So guys, I hope you found that useful, and if you are a keen web developer, whether this has inspired you to maybe create your own components that are suitable for DKUI, I think at some point in the future I will publish this as a standard communications, I'll publish this standard for communications between DKUI and Grasshopper to allow anybody else to build upon my work. And as always, if you've found anything that I've done with DKUI useful, you can click here and drop this buy DK a beer component onto the canvas of Grasshopper. That will launch your web browser and go straight to this PayPal account, and you can feel free to drop whatever you feel a DKUI is worth to you into this into my PayPal account. And all contributions are greatly appreciated, and certainly help in motivation to improve this UI platform for future use by all of us. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comments below this video, or you can find me on the Rhino Discourse Forum. I'm known as Kiteboard Shaper. Thank you very much.